YouTube. How are you all? Welcome back to the show. I hope you recently learned that on November 13th, the first ever XRP ETF will go online. Put it on paper, mark it on your calendar, but I'm serious when I say that what I'm going to show you in this episode may be the most obvious indication yet that the next wave of cryptocurrency is already developing, and the mainstream media isn't even aware of it yet. Nasdaq recently revealed the same people who once laughed at XRP and declared that cryptocurrency was over. The new financial systems railroads are currently being secretly constructed. Remember that we are discussing Ripple buys. According to a global bank, all money will be digital in billion-dollar funds that are repositioned as the retail industry sleeps. And this is Jim Cramer, the legendary Jimmy Boy. We entered a bear market, he added. That means you already, don't you? Run like a bull. Whenever he says that, the charts go completely straight up. Hold on tight, because by the time this video ends, you will know exactly why XRP could be leading the largest macro trade of our time. To ensure that you never miss a boring minute, make sure you hit subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And this is where we're beginning. Look, you're losing money if you don't have your cryptocurrency properly arranged, even though I'm sure you do. You could easily avoid thousands of dollars in taxes, fees, and rookie errors by giving me a call. This is the place to start if you want to learn how to create an LLC, transfer profits to SmartWay, or simply get your strategy in line for the bull run. The profit is enormous, but the expense is minimal. Additionally, you can sign up for the newsletter for free after you receive that call book. Why not? Why do you not receive the newsletter? Every week, I analyze the cryptocurrency markets, tax changes, and impending catalysts. Avoid overanalyzing it. You can find such links below. And since Cramer just pressed the panic button once more, we're going to start right here with good old Jimmy Boy. We're in a bear market, he remarked. Atom charts don't seem that well right now, which I adore. Is this the last reversal we've been searching for, though? Look, you already know if you've been in cryptocurrency for more than 5 minutes. It's often boom when Cramer calls it doom. And it's typically doom when he calls it boom. Okay, let's go back in time on this. In 2020, he advised everyone to sell their Bitcoin. We then soared to 69K. It was just before it doubled that he called meta done. This dude is an oracle in reverse. Real. There is no defeat on the Cramer indication. There is a huge area on Reddit devoted to Jim Cramer, and these individuals do the exact opposite of what he advocates, and they profit greatly from it. It is impossible to make it up. As institutional wallets are filling up and the Fed, Nasdaq, and Ripple are setting the stage for the next bull phase, Cramer himself is currently predicting a bear market. Thus, I picture bullhorns when Cramer yells, bear. And that brings us directly to the private conversations of the actual players. According to the New York Fed conference, cryptocurrency is growing rapidly. At the New York Fed conference, let that sink in. Mainstream media. What actions would they use to incite fear? Amazing things happened. One of the BNY Mellon women. This clip is about to be played. The CEO of Fireblock sits next to one of America's oldest banks. And it was a very clear message. Cryptocurrencies grow exponentially. Incumbents are on board because of this. Consider that. None of the incumbents are speculating or making fun of onboarding. They are all boarding. It's the same organization. This is a reminder that oversees trillions of dollars worth of assets. They are now stating openly that the adoption of cryptocurrencies is about to take a huge turn. Pay attention. As Caroline mentioned, I believe that people typically find it difficult to comprehend the effects of essentially exponential development, particularly for incumbents. Assuming that all of their rivals, or more broadly, all of the disruptive technologies are moving at a linear pace, they essentially look at their business and say, well, this is what we were doing for the last 50 years, 100 years, and it's already kind of a linear trend. However, the majority of innovations are actually adopted at an exponential rate. AI is something that I believe everybody can experience right now. Given everything we have witnessed in the past 2 years about AI, I believe we can all agree that we have no idea what the world will look like in 2 years, let alone what those things will be able to accomplish. And I believe that digital assets are genuinely experiencing the same issue. People used to say, hey, listen, all these stable coins and all the stuff that you guys are doing is so small that the systems are not scalable, the performance is not there. When we first started in 2018 and even 3 years ago during the height of the previous cycle. And such arguments were numerous. I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but it was the stablecoin in 2024. They performed more than the massacre we witnessed. All right, and that's crazy. In 2 years, this is similar to the exponential adoption that we are witnessing, correct? When I saw some of the European clearing and depository warehouses a few years ago, they essentially told me, look, we're operating at this scale. Given the complexity and all we've created over the past 70 years, there is virtually no chance that someone will come and upset us. As of right now, Fireblocks processes more transactions each month than both Europe and Clearstream put together, correct? That took place in 2 years, correct? Therefore, I believe there is a valid point here that the income does need to be reevaluated in light of what happens with digital assets generally, and I think you are 100% correct. The question, in my opinion, is what is actually defensible because it is. And what is justifiable is that there is a sense of the status quo that basically says, let's stop it. Look, we are far past that point. This is no longer theory, and they are not testing. They are finally making their way into this area and carrying out their execution. Speaking of collaborations, you won't want to miss this one. Yes, this one nearly went unnoticed by everyone. Do you understand? Unnoticed? The story of the weather coin? Now hurry up. Vivo Power has revealed that it will invest $5 million in K-Weather, acquiring around 20% of the business. Why should you give a damn? You should. But you're probably thinking, Rip, we don't give a crap. For this reason, Vivo Power will use their capital to develop a brand new cryptocurrency called Weathercoin and increase their exposure to XRP. A derivative tool for applications aimed at managing climate risk will be Weathercoin. What is the meaning of it all? Simple, that is. The tokenization of the good climate economy is what we are witnessing, all driven by the infrastructure of XRP. This is what people fail to understand. XRP is more than just a cryptocurrency. It is developing into a layer of liquidity for everything from futures to weather data. All of this is a part of the larger change that is now acknowledged as the largest macro trade in history. And Raoul Pal is right here. The market for tokenized real-world assets, or RWAs, is currently valued at over $3 trillion. It sounds large, doesn't it? Try 100 trillion or more, because that's exactly where this is going. We're talking about data, bonds, commodities, and real estate, all of which are moving through digital ledgers. However, that just makes up a minor portion of the entire area. What is the size of Bitcoin if we reach 100 trillion? 20 trillion? 25 trillion? Cryptocurrency is one of the 75 trillion other values. It's the blockchain's technological component. What other uses are there for blockchain? Smart contracts were the ones that truly made a difference. And how would you explain it to an institutional investor if that crypto thesis turns out to be true? What does that blockchain-based financial system of the future look like? What do you think has the most potential? Thus, everything will move in a chain in the financial markets. Therefore, all stocks will move in tandem, resulting in a faster settlement. Many thanks for listening. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Additionally, to be the first to know when I post new stuff, make sure you enable the alerts. I can't wait to see you again in the next video. Be careful.